Hello, everyone. Welcome to round six of Division 1 here in Fortune Racing. We are here at Circuit de Paul Ricard, and I am joined by BPA, and he will give us some track description. BPA? Oh. Okay. My bad. I will quickly fix that. Alright, there we go. Wait.
Again, we are here at located at the south coast of France. The length of the circuit is 3.63 miles. We are doing 27 laps on the main race and 9 on the sprint one because it's round 6 out of the 8th race long calendar. 15 turns, including 3 heavy braking zones in turn 1, turn 3, and turn 8. The lap record is 131.769, set by Will.
Oh, did something happen there?
Can't forget about that.
Yeah.
And it the track contains a lot of medium, low, and high-speed corners.
I don't
And
know
you
what's...
left.
Everyone has left the session, unfortunately. I do think we are getting a lobby reset. I think there was...
No, you left.
Oh, did
It's
I? Oh.
only you left. So you
Only
need
I
a
left.
mic.
Okay, so I disconnected then. Okay. That's not
Okay,
good.
let me just. No, uh, are you on Steam or?
Yeah, I'm on Steam. I can just join via thingy.
Okay.
Via Jack. Cause he But yeah, I am sorry guys, I have accidentally been disconnected. Which is not good. But it's a 20-minute quali and it was wet, which, is not great because France is already not the greatest circuit, and it wet is obviously not even better. It makes the track maybe worse, but it will be good for qualifying because those fast drives in the top of the standings may not be good in the wet, and some people that are good in the wet can prove their skills here in qualifying.
Yeah, the interesting thing in terms of the championship, only Jack and Chocolate showed up from the top three remote. Haven't attended the Qatar and the French Grand Prix, or yeah, we see some drivers out on track like the Combi, who is Leo, Diamonds, Elite, Marcy, Dave, Justerini, Milano, Felixone, Jack, and Star Wars Beast. As Star Wars Beast set the fastest lap of 1:45.749. And as I said that, the hot laps are very fast. 44.9 is the provisional pole, or we have a short quali. Yes, we have a short quali. So right now it's Leo on provisional pole, 44.5. Back to you, Luxy.
Well, yeah, I'm joining back in, and so then you guys will be able to see the said um, laps that are being called out. And unfortunately, a lot of these corner names are going to be very difficult for me to
Let me
say.
just search it.
They are some good old gobbledygook, as my good friend likes to say. They are very, very complicated, so I will just kind of shorten them out. Um, will be nice. I'm
What
back
of
in, and
this
then I
corner
can get
is-
the screen
Jeez.
going. Bum, bum, bum. And here we go. So right now, Jack in the Red Bull, he's on pole with a 43.8. No, a 43 flat, which is really nice to see from the Red Bull driver, the championship leader. Here, Decombi, he's got a 44.5. He's 1.5 seconds slower than that Red Bull driver. Remember, guys, this is not Wicked Wednesday. This is Division 1 here in Fortune Racing. So, that does mean all cars are equal. So, we will, you know, it doesn't really matter what car you're in. They're all equal. Elite, he's got 44.9, and Felix, he shoots up to P2 with a 44.142, and he all loses the rear end. I'm gonna say, yep. What corner is that? That's exit of turn 2. He loses the rear end, exit of turn 2. Which, you know, obviously he's not on a lap, happily. Tom in the Ferrari, he shoots up to P2. He goes roughly 5 times faster than Felix with a 43.6. There's only 2 drivers in that sub 44 range. I think Felix may also join them in his next hot lap. People
Yeah,
need, yeah.
Giuserini in P10. He's the fastest Division 2 driver right now. Because we have some reserve drivers from Division 2 like Cross and Giuserini. Now he's the fastest.
There are 5 drivers that yet need to set a lap. Mash, Massey, Tom, G-Boon, and Crossfrog. Those guys need to set a lap. There are only, 5 of them now. And, BPA just said, just Arini, from Division 2, coming up to Division 1 as a reserve in that P11 spot in McLaren with a 46.3. A not too shabby lap. And I think Felix is actually having some trouble in this wet condition as we just see them sliding around here on that entry to the pit lane. Cube Tom in that Aston Martin, he goes up to P4 I mean, with a 44.220. Not too bad of a lap in that Aston Martin. He is also maybe a contender for that sub 43 area of lapping.
Yeah, Crossfrog set just 6 millisecond faster lap time than Giuserini. He's now down to P12 as somebody sets a lap time. Cube Tom.
Mayo driver here, he's going to be
22.
setting his lap. Combi,
You left again.
I left again. What is this? Why do I keep getting disconnected? That is weird.
Oh, and somebody put it on the inters. Felix.
It's not even
Is
I'm
that,
having stream issues.
They want me to stream it?
No, it's not that. I'm just getting they're not playing with remain start session. Okay, I don't know what's happening. I just keep getting randomly disconnected, which is not great. But it could be a lobby glitch. It could be something else. But yeah, let's hope it will fix itself in the next coming few moments. Anyway, I think my predictions for the top 3, I think we will see Jack on pole. I think we may get a surprise. I think there'll be a reserve driver in that top 5, but I don't think they'll find enough pace to get into that top 1 spot. I think It's Chocolate may get P3, and I think we may see I don't know who else. I think we may see Jamie, Giwon, Jamie. I think those guys are going to be my top 3. I think Jack, he can get pole if he wants. He's one of the fastest, I want to say, in Division 1. He is the fastest, probably, because he's leading the championship.
He's the fastest, I can say that. He won the first proper season of Fortune Racing, only racing like half of the rounds, having like a 40-point gap when he joined, and he won. So he is the fastest.
Which is just crazy to think only half of the season and winning by 40 points. That is just absolutely
No, he
mind-boggling.
joined. He
Yeah.
was 40 points behind the leader when he joined, or something like that. I don't remember properly. As we see, Tom takes provisional pole on 41.4, but we see some drivers like Jack, Cube, Tom, Combi, Elite, just from the top 10 who are using the intermediate tires, and Jamie cuts the track. He can make turn 1, but he's on an in lap.
So BPA. Who do you think? What are your predictions for the oh my god, the top 3 result for the sprint race? What do you think your prediction will be?
For the sprint race, Jack sometimes he backs off in sprints. So I put him still first, and Cube Tom maybe second, and Tom third. Cube is fast, but sometimes his quali pace are just not enough to get ahead of the very fast guys.
As we see, it looks like the track could be maybe drying up as, well, maybe not. It looks like the rain is kind of stopping falling and very lightly now, but the track is still very wet. But there are a few drivers on these intermediate tyres, as we see Jack, in P3 right now, in that Red Bull car. He's got the intermediate set tyres, on, when we saw Tom, the guy in provisional P1, he was on those wet compound tyres. So it's really a diverse mix here in this qualifying session. So I think we will see a lot more people coming out onto these intermediate tyres. I think maybe Jack is on for an improvement lap. As we head into Sector 2 now, round the flat out corner. And
2.8 seconds off.
He's 2.8 seconds up. That will put him probably, yeah, that would definitely put him into that P1 area. Just 2 seconds would put him into that 41 range. But I think 2.1 maybe improving to maybe a 2.5 improvement. We'll see when he comes across the line here. But will it be enough for pole? That's the question. Let's hope he doesn't make a mistake. Really nice and tight. Coming around the final corner. Let's go into helicopter cam. Coming around the final corner. What will it be? Down the main straight. He crosses the line with a 38. Oh, wait, no.
That's Combi.
Now Jack crosses the line. He goes to a 37.8. Combi also knows intermediate set of tyres sets a 38.9. So yes, the tyres, the intermediate set are way faster here in Circuit de Paul Ricard. And it looks like the track is drying up. 4 minutes left remaining. Jack and the Combi will be able to set one more lap if they box now, and we'll see a lot more drivers coming out on these intermediates. Let's go on board with Star Wars Beast. He's also on these intermediate self-ties. He's on his outlap, and I think he will be trying to make a good result here in Paul Ricard. There's a caution in Sector 3. I think someone's just maybe lost the rear on an exit of one of those corners, because Sector 3 is a very tricky technical sector, because, you know, you're moving while braking. There's a risk that you're gonna slide out and lose the rear. As Dave, he goes to P3 with the 39.6. Not too shabby of a lap. Definitely is proven that you can go faster. There is caution in Sector 1 and Sector 3, so I do think we will, I think there's a lot of people that are actually having some issues with getting the traction down here in France. There's another caution in Sector 1, and yeah, as Massey on these intermediate self-tyres in this Alfa Romeo car, yet to set a lap, but is on their hot lap now. Let's go to this broadcast cam and get a nice view of it, as there's another caution in that Sector 2 area. There will be no overtaking in Sector 2, and it is permitted to slow down, but I don't think Massey really cares, and will be trying to get a good quali lap here. As yeah, it's just slow cars, and oh, that Aston Martin kind of comes back onto the line. Will that be a bit of an issue for that Mercedes behind?
Yeah, while you spectating Massey, Jack started his lap now, coming into turn 3 and 4. He's done it perfectly. That now, turn 5, it's the hairpin, a double apex hairpin, and turn 6 and 7, and he's now going down the back straight. Turn 8 is a heavy braking zone, as I mentioned before. Then the chicane, and then the second part of the straight. And one thing about Star Wars Beast, he's done a very good job last time out in Qatar. He qualified around the P10. He qualified P11. He just missed out on Q3. But the big thing that he qualified at the back of the grid at Austria one round before. No, Imola, one round before Qatar. So he's improving, but we don't know how much because he is yet to settle up on the Inters.
Back to Massey though, he crossed the line, but his lap didn't come up, so I think he's invalidated somewhere in his lap, which is not going to be good for this Alfa Romeo kick car driver, and it's definitely not going to be good for the Constructors' Championship. But as we see the other Alfa Romeo kit car in that P6 spot, that's going to be really good for the sprint race. He's going to try and build up some ground and hopefully get a good position for the start of the main race.
Yeah, but don't forget there are like 8 drivers who yet to settle up on the intermediates. Micromash still, he is one of the fastest, I think. He will be around P6 or even the top 5. Chocolate, he is fast, same as Wakandai, he is fast in the qualifying. Masi yet to set a lap time, but yeah, we've seen his lap, but he might just invalidate it.
Yeah, quick thing, while you were talking, Felix, he jumps up to that P2 spot with a 38.5. Oh my god, that was a big thunderstorm.
Wow.
That was a thunderstorm. I don't know if you guys could hear that on the mic, but that was a bloody thunderstorm from outside my house.
Gee, I could hear that.
That was bloody epic. Oh.
Yeah.
But
Jack.
Elite. What's happened to Elite? I was just talking about him, and he's DNF'd here in the qualifying session. Let's hope his lap will be good enough for maybe that top 5 range. Qualifying is now over. We see drivers crossing the line. Chocolate not able to improve. Let's go on with a championship contender here, Wakanda, in this Mercedes.
Dave up to P3 with only a second, now down to P4, but only a second off Jack, but he is faster, around 6/10. He nearly lost the end out of the penultimate corner, now out of the final corner. Let's see, no DRS of course because of the rain. Cube Tom 37.7.
But Jack beats it immediately after, and he proves about 7 tenths on his previous lap. Cube Tom still should not be going about that result. P2 he goes with a 37.7. But Felix, he's coming across the line now. Will he improve? He will, but it was not going to be a place improvement. It's just going to be a time improvement. Let's go on board with the Combi. He's in the sector 3 area, coming around the final few corners. He needs to improve. He needs to get into this, maybe 37 range. If he can, this would be a great position and put him into that P top 3 range. He's coming down the main straight. He will come across the line. Will he improve? No, he won't, and he'll remain P8.
Yeah, Micromash coming down the main straight. He's done a 1:39. It's only 11th fastest. It's not enough for the top 10.
Massey boxes, cross frog. He comes across the line. Will he improve though? Let's see here. Does he improve? No.
No.
Wakanda does improve though. The championship contender, I believe he is. He's in P12. This may not be good for his championship hopes, as there are only 2 more rounds after this, so he's going to need to try and scrape up any points as he can. Just Arini didn't have time to improve on their lap, and stuck with their wet lap with a 45.3, and It's Chocolate was unable to improve and has a 45.7.
So the pole position, 37.140 from Jag, what a lap from the Briton. Cube Tom, I think he was second, right?
Yeah, we'll see in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Diamonds goes P2. He ran under my radar. I didn't see that. He must have been a last, literally last second improvement. He jumped up ever so slightly in front of Cube Tom, and that would be really good for the Williams driver.
Yeah, let's make a rundown. The first row, Jack and Diamonds, and then following in the second row, Cube Tom and Felix. Jamie, Dave in the third row, Elite Combi in the fourth, Marcy and Star Wars Beast. Good qualifying again from Star Wars Beast. On the fifth row, Micromash, Vakandai, P12 and 13. And that's what I could see. And yeah.
And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we are almost getting ready to go lights out here in Circuit de Paul Ricard, and it's nice and sunny for the sprint race. All the drivers are probably having a great time knowing that it's going to be a dry race. We may see some really good battles. Turn 1 is going to be massively, I think we're going to see a massive crash into Turn 1. That's my prediction. Just because I know a lot of people will maybe send it in down the inside, and we'll see a lot of wheel bashing, and because it's a chicane, 1 and 2 is a chicane, and that's really bad for like a first corner. But let's hope all the drivers can get through it nice and cleanly, and let's see no front wings flying off, no end plates flying off here.
Yeah, we should not see a wheel come off from one of the cars, obviously. Yeah, dry race, 9 laps. The softs are a choice, but they will be very heavily wet at the end of the race. So it might be a medium for the front runners. Maybe if a safety car comes out, then the soft runners. No, everybody is on softs, so
But as we start the formation lap here, possible strategies. A zero stop with the soft compound tyre, and then a zero stop with that medium compound tyre, as Jack really likes to get a good lead off the formation lap. We saw this in Wicked Wednesday yesterday. He was like massively far ahead in both the sprint and the main race off the formation lap. Which maybe it's his technique. He likes to go off really far and heat up those tyres. Now, I think, as you said, soft tyres is an option, but I don't think it will be the most optimal. Especially around this track where it's really tyre heavy. You know, you got to throw the car into the corners, keep it nice and able. There's a high chance of losing the rear, especially through that Sector 3 area. So I do think those medium compound tyres will probably be the best. They may not be the fastest at the start, but once we get into that mid to last few laps of the race, that's when they'll shine. And especially when you get through that first degradation phase, the mediums will just be so much better than the softs, and they'll feel nicer. And I think that's what we will see here, as let's go see everyone's tyres. It's a wide range of softs and mediums, as the top five.
Seven medium runners throughout the pack.
Soft.
So 10, yeah. In the top 10, there are only 3 drivers: Dave, Elite, and Marcy starting on the mediums, whilst in the from P11 to P17, there are 4 drivers behind each other: Micromash, Vakandai, Crossroad, and Milano starting on the mediums. They try to maybe save their tires in the first few laps, and then push it with ERS and DRS to have a really good tire wear at the end of the race. So they have an even bigger tire advantage. The optimal tire temperatures is around 90-93 degrees. So yeah, somebody spun behind. One of the Alpha Tauris, I think that was Star Wars Beast. No, it was Elite. He spun in the straight.
As we wait for all the drivers to line up here on the grid, I just want to say thanks for all of you tuning in here, and I hope you enjoy this race as much as I do. But we are getting ready here to go lights out here in Circuit de Paul Ricard.
Yeah, the 5 lights are going out.
We have 5 red lights out, and away we go here in France. Circuit de Paul Ricard. It's a great start from Jack, the championship leader. It's not such a good start from It's Chocolate, who's down in P16. But let's go back to the front. Diamond, he remains P2. Cube Tom, he's also P3, followed by Felix. They have all jumped and are all within that 5/10th gap. And it's a 6/10th gap between Felix and Jamie.
Yeah, the field just made through turn 1 and the first sector, which means it was a clean sector. Nobody collided with each other. Everybody has their front wings, and it's a moment that we should see in every race.
Decombi, he's going to look for a move. We're having a fight between Jamie and Decombi. Decombi's going to opt for the outside line. He's going to go deep and have the best line through that corner, and he's going to take this P5 position over Jamie. And what a move it was. We see that all
four cars fighting for the first position. Jack now fights with Cube Tom. He is on the outside. Cube Tom has the advantage on the inside. Jack goes to the left-hand side of the corner, and he makes no, he wasn't overtaken by Cube Tom, so he stays ahead. It was a great opportunity for Tom to overtake him, but the corner turned right and the outside was faster. Somebody spun. It was Crossfrog in 17th place. It's a very bad thing to spun here, because now he has to gain 8 seconds just to get back into the fight for P16.
As we look a bit behind the field here, and oh, Dave Nay, he's spun. I think with a battle with Tom, he's spun, and he's down into P15. Massey is also far back, so I think both Alfa Romeo drivers and now this Aston Martin have all had a spin, which is not going to be good, and it's going to put massive pressure onto those medium compound tyres. As the top 6 all on the soft compound tyre. Was that the gambit? We may see an Alpine switch here as we come down the back straight. As Felix is going to look for a move. He's going to be ahead before the corner, and Diamond, he's going to slot back into his P4 spot. He's lost 2 positions off of the start, and this is not looking the greatest for the Williams driver.
They improved 5 positions from the start. A very good start from Chocolate. He started P17 last place. Now he's fighting for P11 with Milano and Wakanda. They are 3 wide. No, they are only 2 wide now. But he makes the move on Milano. He goes up to P11.
But yeah, another person that's made a substantial ground in this race so far is Tom. He's up 7 positions. This Scuderia Ferrari is absolutely flying right now. Let's hope they can carry this momentum into this race. They are on the medium, no, they're on the soft compound tyres, so I do think that the soft compound tyres was maybe the right call. As we see Diamond, he's going to send it on Felix. No, he's going to defend from Combi, and he will remain in that P4 position. But he has lost the ground. He's not even within this 1 second gap, so this is going to look bad for Diamond, especially on this really long back straight, really long DRS zone. He's just going to get absolutely flown by, but no, he catches up, and I think he's back into this DRS range.
Yeah, I think we just have a new lap record. Let me just say that, yes, the lap record was a 131.769. Now it's a 131.565. Felix is the record holder right now. Let the drivers go faster and faster. Let's just see them.
But as we see further down the field, Tom, he's on the back of Elite, and he's going to send it down the inside of the flat out corner. They're going to go side by side, but Tom takes that P7 position. This Scuderia Ferrari is absolutely flying here as we enter the Sector 3 section. Really easy to lose the rear, as we saw Charles Leclerc do this very thing where he lost the rear coming into, I want to say, turn 10. He lost the rear in 2022, making him DNF. So let's hope this Scuderia Ferrari does not do that. But there is caution in that Sector 3 area. It is Wakanda. I think he spun or maybe lost the car in Sector 3. Yes, he's down to P16, and that's not going to be good for his championship hopes. Tom, he sets the fastest lap as well. 31.4. Is that a new track record?
Yeah.
Diamond spins! That's not good for the Williams. We were literally on board with him. I don't know what happened, but I think there was contact. There was contact, and that's not going to be good for that Williams driver. He's remained in P10, but he's outside of these points, and this is just not going to be good. As this is the only Williams driver on the grid, so Williams aren't going to be getting any more points for the championship constructors.
Yeah, especially after a disastrous Imola weekend, as we see Cube Tom trying to get back the position from Felix. Yes, he gets the position now up to P2. So what happened in Imola? Both Williams got DNF'd up to after lap 28. It was a disaster for them. 32 lap race, DNF both car after lap 28, and they dominated the whole race. But Jack won there.
Now, as we go on board with Tom in the Scuderia Ferrari, he has a front row seat for this battle in P4, as I think Jamie tried to look for a switchback move, but it wasn't done. And oh, the Scuderia Ferrari loses the rear end. I don't know if that was intentional or by accident, but it kind of worked to his favour as he got better exit speed. Now coming through turn 12. Now, turn 14, now 15, and the Alpine driver kind of went rather deep on the exit of turn 15, and oh, Elite, he's still in this battle for P4. It's a 4-car battle for this, and then it's a quite substantial gap between the two AlphaTauri drivers.
Yeah, Cross is fast. He gained 3 seconds in 3 laps, so he won't catch up, but it's a very good gain from him.
As we look up further near to the field, Jack now has a quite big lead of 2.1 seconds. But let's go further down. The battle for P2 is still real, as Felix, he's going to look round the outside through the chicane, and he's ahead. He's ahead before the chicane, and he'll say, "Thank you very much, Tom." And he will go ahead and take that P2 spot, and hopefully drag
Oh, Jamie made a mistake. Tom up to P5. He spun out of turn 8. He made a mistake.
That's not going to be good, as this will give Combi a nice substantial gap to work with and maybe eat at. But Tom, he's going to look for around the outside, and oh, he's sent off, and his flashback to 2022 for the Scuderia Ferraris. And oh, he spun, and will this be a race-ending crash? No, he's not. Front wing still attached, and this is, I said this last lap, how Charles Leclerc in 2022, he did that very same thing. He lost the rear end, but in this case, he got sent off by Jamie, and will that maybe be a 5-second penalty at the end of the race for causing a collision and almost and sending the Scuderia Ferrari off?
Yeah, they made contact with Jamie. He made a contact with Jamie, so that will be a penalty for Jamie, I think, because he turned not the way he should when there is a car on the outside.
But as we're still watching for this battle, P5, Geruni Jamie. Jamie, he's been handed a 3-second penalty, and so has Milano for excessive corner cutting and not staying within the white lines. This is not going to be good. He will drop down to P8 as of now, but let's hope he can extend this gap. He is behind Elite, fighting for this P5 position, and Combi, he's just being able to fly away here in this mid stage of the race. But let's go back.
Yeah. Cube, Tom overtook Felix, and now they are fighting again into turn 11. They are more careful than Jamie was to Tom. Let's get back to you.
So yeah, as I was saying, Jussarini, they have gone up 6 places, started the race in P16 and having a substantial race up to P10. The Division 2 driver reserved for Division 1 is having an absolute terrific race. I said Tom also had a good race, but Arini, he's been able to come up the field so much more than Tom. But as we see, it's a 4-way battle for this P9 position, and this is just going to be able to give Star Wars Beast a nice gap, as he's already got 5.8 gap to Tom, and he's fighting with Maiko Mash. As Arini is going to go down the inside into turn 1 and will take the move and say, "Thank you very much, I'll take P9, let me lead the train, you guys just stay behind me."
Yeah, with 2 laps remaining, I don't think he will be enough to, he won't be that fast to catch 5.8 seconds, so we can see Star Wars Beast scoring points in a sprint.
Yeah, he's going to be getting more than 1 point. He's probably going to get 2 points here. As yes, Jamie is in P5, but remember, he's got that 3-second penalty that could maybe go up to an 8 if he gets an added 5-second penalty, which will not be good for him. He will stay in. He'll get 1 point. He will get 1 point. But if this gap keeps diminishing, maybe Arini or Chocolate will be able to extend, but no, Arini's got a 1.1 second gap, and let's see what tires they are on. As I believe, no, they're on the softs. Oh, I thought they were on the mediums, because it looks like the medium tire runners are now being able to go faster than the soft runners. And because, you know, the softs are dying out now, but Jamie does lead a pack with 2 soft runners, and there's a caution. It's Diamond yet again, the Williams driver. He's been, either spun or sent off the track. I don't know what's happened there, but that's not going to be good for this Williams driver. Williams are getting no points in today's sprint race here in the circuit Paul Ricard.
Yeah, it's a disaster for Williams. He needs to gain 2 tenths to get back into the DRS train, as we see Cube and Felix fighting with each other. They're going through turn 7 now, and the DRS zone. 2 tenths the gap between Tom and Felix. Milano got another 3 seconds. That's 6 added to his name, as Felix overtook Cube Tom just before the chicane. Good move from the Alpine driver.
But as we see Elite, he pulls out to the left-hand side. He tries to look for a move on Jamie, but he's just going to slot back in and be a bit more patient. As I think if he did get that move done, that would have been good. And maybe Elite could have maybe been flying away. But we do see a slipstream train. Will Jamie look for a move? Let's go on board with the AlphaTauri driver, as he may look for a move on Jamie. But he's got to be careful, because I think he saw the crash between Jamie and Tom. You know, it could have been Jamie's fault, but it could have just been a racing incident. But I think they're going to be a bit more cautious coming through sectors. Oh! As there was contact. Does the AlphaTauri driver still have a front wing? Yes, he does. The front wing is still intact, but there was slight contact, making the AlphaTauri almost spin, and the Merc driver losing that rear.
I don't know if it was a brake check or just he lost.
I think it was a bit late on the brakes, but let's go up to Cube Tom, as he's going to be hunting down Felix for this P2 position, as Combi, he's had a terrific race. He's back into P4, and he's back in this battle for P2 on the final lap. Who's going to come out on top? Felix leads the way as we exit Sector 1, and we come into Sector 2. Felix will lead the way, followed by Tom, then Combi. We saw a move from Elite. He's now up to P5. That's going to be good for the AlphaTauri driver. Mash is also going to be looking for a move, but Tom, he's pulled alongside. Is he side by side? No, he's not. He's just going to slot him behind. He's really hoping to get this move done on Felix, as we see just in the distance as these guys.
No. Elite got a 3 second, which means he won't be finishing P5.
He'll be finishing P7. But Tom, he's looking around the outside. This is what we saw the Scuderia Ferrari also lose the car. He's going to look for a move. He's going to go down the inside. They're side by side by the apex. And no, the Alpine just has more of exit speed. The Aston Martin is just throwing everything at it. We see coming across the line now, it is Tom, who will come, Jack, he comes across the line, he will win in the sprint race, followed by Felix, then Tom, then Combi.
P7, switch to P7, what a fight between Micromash and Star Wars Beast out the final corner.
Star Wars Beast said thank you very much, and he will move up to P5, and there's a crash! Jamie has crashed
after the line,
so he will remain P8. But that's just hilarious. But I think a lot of people that are going to be quite happy are the AlphaTauri and the Haas driver. AlphaTauri are especially going to be happy, as both cars get points here in France.
Yeah, and don't forget, this in this game we still have the old sprint system, which means P4 and 5 for the AlphaTauris. It's a very good starting position to work from. Especially if they want to catch P5 and 7 because of the penalties. So it's going to be a really good positions for them to fight for with the Alpines and maybe keep them if they are fast enough.
Yeah, we also saw the Scuderia Ferrari be awarded a 3-second time penalty, which didn't help that race, and they dropped down so many positions. I think they dropped down from P10 or maybe P9. No, it was P10 because Arini, we saw them, they got a massive gap once they passed Chocolate and kept that gap, I believe. Yeah. So, you know, it was a really good race. We saw many crashes, many spins, but BPA.
Yeah,
Who do you think is your sprint driver of the day? Your sprint driver of the day.
I think it should be Jack. He's done a really good job coming off the line, fighting in the first few laps, then just dominating and going away from the pack. But if I can't choose him, then I need to share it between Tom and who was the Alpine? I forgot his name.
The
Felix?
Alpine, Combi, or the other one?
No, the other one, Felix, I think.
Yeah, Felix.
Yeah, I just split between Tom and Felix. They just give us a very good battle with a lot of entertainment. So, yeah.
Yeah, if I was to give a driver of the day for that sprint, I think I agree with you. Jack, he had a great race. Tom, Cube Tom, amazing race. I think my driver of the day is gonna go to Combi. You know, I think he started like P7 and got way up to P4. Had that battle for that P2 spot. And we see both Alpines in that P2 P4 spot, as Combi is a bit late to the to going off, but it's fine. It's only the formation lap here. But as I go around the
softs, Combi and Massey on softs, they are on a 2-stopper.
As
they will fit around lap 8 or so. Go on to maybe the mediums and again to the mediums, but
as
yeah,
we
the soft hard is not a. If there is no safety cars in this race, we've seen no safety car races before. Yeah, it's an interesting choice, but if safety car and crashes happen, it might be they might benefit from it.
As the drivers are going on their formation lap, let's talk about the strategy options. I think the medium runners, they'll be trying to get those mediums as long as they possibly can, and maybe switching over to the hard compound tyre if there is no safety car. If there is a safety car, we may see the softs being played out, but these medium runners are going to try and see how long they can go, maybe try and match those, maybe try and get a bit of an undercut, to give those hards, because they'll probably switch onto the hard compound tyres. These soft runners are going to be hoping for a safety car, maybe an early safety car, maybe a mid-race safety car. They're going to be hoping for a safety car so they can get off those softs. Once those softs enter those first degradation phase, they'll be dead, so they're going to hope for a safety car to get off of those softs. We see the Combi, he's on the soft compound tyres. Cube Tom, he's on those mediums. Felix on the hards, and Jack is also on the medium compound tyres. So, as the cars line up back here out on track,
I've asked the driver. I'm not going to say who, but he said he's starting on the mediums. He said he will pit around lap 13, maybe a lap before, maybe a lap after. It depends on the safety cars and everything.
If everything goes to plan, that's going to be his strategy. Cool. Everyone's lining up onto the grid. We are getting ready to go lights out here in Paul Ricard, here in France. Possible race strategies: a one-stop from softs to mediums or mediums to hards, boxing around about lap 13 to 17. We have 5 red lights. And away we go here in Circuit de Paul Ricard in France. And it's a great start from Jack and Felix. No, Felix actually drops 2 positions. Combi will go over to P2. He'll go round the outside of the Aston Martin driver, who is in P3. He's from main P3. Star Wars fan and Elite have all gone up to P5 and P6.
DST.
There's a virtual safety car already, so there was a crash, and that is a Scuderia Ferrari out of the race. What's happened back there then?
Yeah, they're going 3 wide into turn 2, which is not a great move. Dave or the Alfa Romeo just turned left when the corner was a right-hander and took 2 drivers with him. Tom was not lucky. He DNF'd and he left the lobby, by the way. But Marcy or Dave, I don't know who was at fault, still in the race.
But yeah, this will actually play really well into Jack's hands. He'll try remaining within that delta, but he's going to see if he can maybe get that 1 second gap immediately off the virtual safety car and then just fly away. Because this Aston of Cube Tom and the Combi will be having a nice little fight for this P2 spot. Virtual safety car is coming to an end now. We will be resuming back to the race, and I think the Combi has timed this perfectly, getting a nice gap over to Cube Tom. Let's look further down to the grid, as both AlphaTauri drivers have moved up a position. They've actually done the swap. Star Wars dropped to P6, but Elite's moved up to P5, starting from P7. That's going to be good. Good points from the AlphaTauri drivers. Jamie remains P8.
Oh, the 2 McLarens collided, and everybody is included in this incident from from P11 to P16, 15, sorry, because they pitted. The 2 McLarens collided.
That is not going to be good, as we I was just going to say Giossarini was P10, but now has dropped to P14. It's not going to be good. They're still in the DRS train, but let's hope there's no front wing damages. Let's look back to the, yeah, I think there may be some front wing damage on this driver. No, they're on the hards. They're still within just for DRS range. No, they are off. So let's hope this McLaren of Giossarini can hopefully regain some positions and he get those tyres heated up even more. But as we see, the Haas, are they working together, or are they going to be looking to try and swap drivers? Because I think Chocolate is a bit faster around here, and maybe looking, yeah, that's what we see. Chocolate will pull alongside here. Let's go on board with the Haas driver coming through the flat corner here in Sector 2. He's just ahead of his teammate, and he will stay ahead.
Obviously.
Oh, there's contact between Jamie and Star Wars. There's contact, and I think that was Jamie's fault. He turned into Star Wars Beast, and that is going to be not great for Jamie. He's going to drop down all the way to P15, and that's just not something you want to see. And the championship's hope for him maybe out the window, as Felix has a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane, and he DNFs. What's happened to the Alpine driver? Was there retired? And same with Jamie. Jamie's also retired. So we already have 3 retirees, and I think there may have been an issue, but we have caution in Sector 1 and Sector 3. DRS is now enabled. This is maybe could play right into the top 3 Hansas. They already have a 3.1 second gap over Elite and Star Wars Beast. But there's so many people with penalties. Milano, who is slow here, he's got a 3-second penalty. Let's actually see what his penalties are adding up to, because they keep adding up. He has a drive-through penalty. This is not going to be good for the McLaren driver. And Maiko Mash, he's got a 3-second penalty. And Giossarini will go ahead down the back straight, going into the chicane. And they will go ahead. No! Purposely taking out Wakanda. Milano will, and I think that will be a race ban for the next round, and this is Milano's race is over.
That's a league ban. That's a league ban. He done that several times now.
And that's just not going to be good, and that's probably going to be whatever chances he has out of the window, and that's probably going to be a league ban if that is not his first time. I think that he did that on purpose, and that's also going to destroy Wakanda's chances, because Wakanda is really at a point where he could maybe contest for this championship, but you know he's I think he has some floor damage and stuff like that. Chocolate is also retired, and so is Jack. So what's happened here? Why is everyone? Oh, we are restarting the lobby. That is why. That's why everyone's retiring.
Race director. Yeah, lobby restart.
Lobby restarting, which does seem fair, but
Then I don't know.
That is not gonna be good for
might be Milano DNFing because of the lobby restart. So I'm just going to remove the note for this race. I mean, the note happened on the race. Safety car, obviously, but yeah, let's switch to the commentators' view because we have to leave the lobby, I think. Don't leave it. Let me just check it. Don't leave. So just retire. Diamond needs to retire. He's the only one who's racing. He's just using our time. Our yeah, he retired, but he left the session. So we have to wait. No, I have a confirmation. It wasn't. It was on purpose, but it was. It wasn't because we are restarting. So Milano will face a league ban. No, or a league ban. Jamie and Milano left the server. Very good. And if I want to be funny, I could say that that's the end of the round 6. But no, we still have 27 laps to race.
Yeah, the lobby is just getting restarted, and people are just yeah, we're just getting a lobby reset as that was just not good from a few drivers here. But from the start of the race, there seemed to be a lot of pace in those AlphaTauri drivers. Diamond seemed to have a lot of pace. Jack seemed to have a lot of pace. So there is a lot of pace near this front end of drivers. So it will be a really nice battle from the lobby reset to maybe see some nice overtakes. And there's a lot of drivers that are very confident to make moves around the outside in sector 3 because we saw it a few times. So yeah, this is very good.
I don't know if you could share it to the stream, but we have an onboard from Tom, the Scuderia Ferrari. Yeah, he got taken out.
Yeah, let's actually look at this on board real quick. I'm just going to add a display capture.
You are using OBS or Streamlabs?
I'm using OBS.
OBS.
But let's look at this onboard. From the start, this is Tom in the Scuderia Ferrari. We saw him have a decent sprint race, but could have he had a good... he didn't have the greatest start, and I think he got took out here. As we see, yeah, he just got... Yeah, that's what happened, guys, and, that's why you never want to chicane as the first 2 corners. But yeah, so...
Yeah, I have to restart my game because it decided not to load. So I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
Maybe missing the start or the formation lab, but it's for the commentary.
I just said BPA is a freestyle game.
Okay.
I think that would be nice to see if Bottas can go back to Mercedes. But anyway, we're just waiting for everyone to join back. Um, Here's something that they should do, right? Right, they should get it so the drivers also add the commentators, because if anyone disconnects, I can add them real quick. I can invite them
Yeah,
back.
or because you are streaming me, but they just don't.
Yeah. But I think we will be seeing no more of that dirty driver that intentionally took out many a driver. Many a driver got taken out. And we will be seeing a lobby reset. I'm just waiting for everyone to
To
join.
get back. I don't know. The drivers, the race director, the race officials said, "Do not leave, just retire." And people are leaving. Uh, I I will never understand it. Why they keep leaving the lobby?
Alright, we are just waiting for the grid to be started up. So, um, BPA, who do you think will come out on top in today's main race?
After we see some leaks from a main race, I think Jack will top it
Yeah.
again. in long terms, the mediums are working way better, and everybody will get a new set of.
Everyone's tires will be able to. Everyone will be able to use whatever tires they want now. They will
Yeah,
have all their softs, all their mediums, and all those hards.
yeah, it's about only the softs or the mediums they use during the sprint race. But yeah, Jack is fast. He will be first for me, and I can't really decide the podium. One of the Alpines will be there. Oh, there is only one. Then Combi and Cube Tom. What about you? What's your podium?
I think we're gonna see Jack. I think Combi and Cube Tom. I think those guys look really strong in the sprint, and will carry that momentum on to the main race.
Yeah, they're just faster than the pack. It's a shame that Chocolate does not start from the top 10, or we don't know about that, because a lot of drivers left, and the grid has to be set right. Otherwise, we'll have to face another restart.
Yeah.
Which is, if we have to restart because of a grid issue, it's just sad. Okay, the drivers are readying up, so we will have the race start in a few minutes, maybe 2 to 4 minutes, and let's see what strategies are the drivers using.
But we are getting ready as every driver now is beginning to line up. I don't know if they were told this. Yep, they were. So we will be seeing drivers, readying up. All drivers are readying up. We are almost about to enter the lobby now. Some interesting facts about Paul Ricard. You can actually see on the track there are painted strips on the inside and on the outside of some corners, mainly in sector 3. That is to purposely slow down the cars, and it does work to some effect, but sometimes it doesn't really work. But that is one of the main reasons those are painted stripes on the track. So there's some nice little F1 knowledge for you guys if no one knew that. And I think
Yeah, and the colors represent how
how
what
much they
word do we
stop the
use?
car, how
Yeah,
much grip how much friction they have with those Pirelli tires. So the blue is it doesn't have it's grippy. It's more grippier than the track actually, if I believe so, because it's
yeah,
more grippy than
around
tarmac.
25%.
And then you get to like 50% with the red, and that's the only thing is blue and red, blue and red. So
Yeah, sometimes in real life, because there is no line and they are driving cockpit view, if we take the real life into the game, it's sometimes it's just so annoying, but it's good. Like Leclerc crash, the car lost around 20 kph speed, which is a lot. But now we are waiting for the drivers to set their strategies, and I don't know if there will be formation lap. There shouldn't be, I think, because we already done like 5 or 6 laps. I'm still seeing the commentators screen.
yeah, no, I've got that up. I only put it on when there's like live action going, so like the start
Uh,
of the race. So for the formation lap, we will have the commentators thing up and running because people don't need to see the cars going around the track for the commentary. Well, maybe they do. So I don't know. But anyway, I think what we'll see is, I think from looking into the Discord drivers chat, it looks like there's going to be rain forecasted for the race. So I don't know, but maybe there is a potential of rain, so that could play into people's setups. They may tweak the front wing, maybe up it a little, because this track is already pretty high downforce, and so pretty high wings, because yes, there's long straights, but there's a lot of corners where you may need the wings. So they may up the wings, because there will be a lot of understeer if you have too low of a wings. So we're still waiting for players. So like people's setups and stuff is taking longer. As I say that, oh shit, it's already lights out. I thought we were gonna have formation lap, but we ain't. So let's go back to the race, and Jack has an tremendous start. Combi moves up to P2 and Cube Tom down to P3. Let's look at the back here, as I think there's a bit of a scruff,
There is
and
a stop on.
there
They
was...
spawn.
Was that? There was no
Yeah.
spin.
I've seen a spin, or it might be just a sideway.
Probably
going
just
for the corner.
sideways. I think that's what we saw. I think we saw Tom go sideways there. But everyone should probably be in this train just for this first bit of this race. I think we'll see Cube Tom attack Combi down the back straight. And there is a caution back there. It's Wakanda. What's happened to him? As I think he's been maybe pushed off the track. Tom has been demoted down to P13 from his original start in that P9 spot. The Combi will take the lead. Then it's Jack. I think Jack may have made a mistake, because he did have 6 attempts of a lead. He's led almost every single lap. Let's hope he can retake the lead and maybe have a grand slam. But no, Cube Tommy's like, give me that position. I'm going to follow Combi through, and I'm going to take this P2. And Jack is still fighting. Remember, the Combi and Cube Tom, they are both on this soft compound tyre, whereas Star Wars Beast has had a tremendous race start, and Jack are on these medium sets of tyres. There are 3 hard runners. There is Massey, Rennie, and Tom. These guys are all on the hards. There are 3 soft runners. Everyone else is on the medium compound of tyre. So, if Jack can just stay with these soft runners, he'll fly away from the Star Wars Beast. But Star Wars Beast has had a tremendous start. Let's look at the positions change. And I think, yeah, no, Star Wars Beast did start P4 because of not all the drivers showing up, because they would have started P5. But the person who was P5, who was Felix, he's not here for the race restart. But anyway, get back to the action. There is a 1.1 second gap between P3 and P4, so the top 3 are already out of DRS range. So we are going to have a bit of a fight between Micro Mash and Star Wars Beast here in the background of this top 3 fight. Cube Tom, don't know why it had a red arrow anyway, but there is a battle between Elite and Chocolate. They both go deep into the chicane, and Chocolate will say thank you very much. No, there is a caution. I think that was Crush Frog. Yes, he's lost the car through the chicane. I think he got maybe punted off, and he's now demoted to last places. These guys are wheel to wheel coming through sector 3 here. Tom and Combi are going to go wheel to wheel down to sector 3, and bit of lag there from Tom. He tried to send it when there was no gap, and this will give Jack a good opportunity to look for a move, but he's just going to be calm and composed and stay behind. But this could bring Star Wars Beast back into the fight.
Yeah, the Combi and Cube Tom has to activate hammer time, otherwise they won't be able to overtook Jack again on the hards or maybe the mediums. It depends how many stops they are doing, because Jack is on the mediums, he is on a 1-stopper, but the Combi and Cube Tom might be on a 2-stopper. I reckon they won't be, but yeah.
Yeah, as we look further down the field, down for the battle for P8 between Diamonds, Massey, and Dave. Dave tried to look for a move around the outside of the Alfa Romeo driver, but he was he backed out of it because he did get boxed out on that outside line. If we move up further into the field now, we will see the gap is starting to spread out between Star Wars Beast and Jack will remain with the soft runners, but Micro Mash will overtake Soulspeed for this P4 position, but I think it was an overtake over the line because Micromash did hand over the position back, or maybe went deep into the chicane. But Cube Tom and Combi are so close. Only two tenths separate the drivers. As we look further down into the field, it's Chocolate and Elite both fighting, and Elite will move up to P6. Both of these Haas drivers are moving up position after position. They're just following each other through. Jack is just on the rear exhaust of the Aston Martin driver. As we come on to lap 4 now. Decombi leads, followed by Cube Tom, then Jack. Let's look further down to the field. We'll see Elite. Will he go for a move down into turn 1? He pulls alongside. They're alongside. Will he be ahead? But he has the inside line, and he'll say thank you very much. Down the inside he goes and regains that P6 position. And he has a lot of work to do if he wants to get that P5 spot and get 4-5 for the AlphaTauri. This will be great points for both teams of Haas and AlphaTauri. Both cars in that top 10 spot getting amazing points. As we look further up to the field, Star Wars beats Micromash having a fight for that P4, and Micromash will go ahead, but his tyres are on. 3 laps are used like everyone else, but the softs will degrade faster. So even though Star Wars is ahead,
Elite,
I mean
5 seconds for corner cutting. It's
that-
weird.
excessive corner cutting maybe. But that puts him to P6, so I think what he's done is he's maybe cut a corner or something. But Diamonds has took full advantage of that and gone up to P7. He was P9, and now the House driver, who was originally in P7, has gone up to P8. But the AlphaTauri driver will say nah, and will send it around the outside, and will keep it around the outside, or no, will back out. And I think maybe is boxing. No, but he's going to send it down to the final corner and spins. There was no space left for Massey. Was that Massey's fault, or was that a racing incident? We'll find out, hopefully.
That's Chocolate's fault. He was not fully alongside him, but the rule says the front wing of the car behind has to be around the rear axle, or the rear suspension of the car in front, and the front wing was there. So
as we
it will be a penalty for Chocolate.
Elite has a 3-second penalty. And so does Massey. They both have penalties here. Jack goes up to P2. Tom will drop down. These softs are now going to slowly start dying. They're only really good for 4-5 laps if you're on the DRS range. And luckily enough, these guys are in a 3-man DRS train. So they are going to kind of bucket off each other. But as we see, a move for P1 is done by Jack coming through the flat out corner. As Chocolate's retired, I think there's a crash that's happened. And yes, you can see, I think he was wheel to wheel with maybe Dave, and then Dave maybe didn't leave him any space, or maybe he lost the rear. We don't know because we weren't watching at said time, but there will be a safety car, and this is going to be playing right into the soft runner's hands. If I was them, I'll be boxing for maybe those medium compound tyres, and you could go soft, medium, soft.
Yeah, Chocolate championship dream over. He missed out last time out in Division 2 last season. Now he'll missing out of the title.
Now, what we're seeing is every driver is boxing. This is going to be good for Elite. No, Elite's opting to stay out because Star Wars Beast was ahead. He was ahead, and he'll get the pit priority. So what they're going to do is box Elite next lap, get that penalty done and dusted, and no, he's going to have to remain to stay behind the safety car. So this is not going to be so good for Elite, because he's going to have to stay behind the safety car and lose tons of positions and go all the way down to last if he does want to box off those mediums and get rid of that 5-second time penalty. So Jack will lead the way. So right now, Jack is provisional P1 if the top 3 don't box. I don't know why Arini didn't box. I think they're gonna be staying out. Try and make these hards last longer, and maybe stay out for that track position, because the hards will go to probably lap 14. And then box for the mediums and do 13 laps on the mediums. That's probably going to be their strategy in the McLaren pit box, and I think that's what they're going to be doing. And if not, they may box, but I think the track position they've got right now is going to be good, and they will lead the way if Elite does box in this lap. But we're just going to have to see when we come to that pit line. I need to open that. There we go. We still have a safety car. The first safety car we've had. We had a VSC at the start of the previous race. Not the sprint, but the first try of the main race. But that will not really count. So this is our first safety car of the weekend. And there are position changes. So I don't know what's happened to Combi. But we're just going to have to see. But yeah, his Combi spun. I don't know why, but that's not going to be good for the Alpine driver. Going from all the way from P5 down to P13, he's going to have to fight his way back up to the top. But let's see. Elite's opting to stay out. So is Arini and Wakanda. No one's on the soft compound tires, so I do think everyone will be probably playing that medium soft game. But Jack is opting to stay on these medium compound tires. Remember, he started the race on the mediums. He's staying on the mediums, and so he still needs to make another stop for that mandatory tire change. So I think he's the only driver that has actually opted to stay on his original compound from the start of the race. Oh. Oh, so, I think safety car will be in this lap, because the whole field is bunched up, so I think we'll see Elite, sorry, just, yawning. I think we'll see Elite, just jump away, and try and get the best safety car restart they possibly can. Here in Paul Ricard.
Safety car, I think, will be in this lap. The field is bunched up, as you said before, and yeah, might the combi cross. Yeah, safety car in this lap. We have the sign now. The safety car, no lights, and we are waiting for Elite to start again to make the restart as soon as the safety car gets into the pits.
But yeah, as we enter Sector 3 Elite, we'll probably try and take it as late as possible, because you can actually go pretty late because you have to cross the line before you can overtake. So Elite can go rather slow, exit of turn 1, and then shoot off halfway down the straight and just cross the line and probably have like a 5/10 gap. Because of where the start finish line is, you can actually afford to go late around France. Obviously, if the start finish line is right at the start of the straight, then you have to go early, but because it's near the end, we're just gonna have to wait to see. We'll wait for the car to speed up. As it starts to speed up now, we go green racing here in Circuit der Paul Ricard for the second time. And Wakanda, he's just gonna slot in. He goes a bit to the outside to maybe look for a move, but no, it's all nice and clean. No positions have been lost or gained from the safety car restart. I talked too soon. Jack's already up to that P3 spot, overtaking Wakanda, who's on 7-lap-old medium compound tires, and Arini is also on 7-lap-old hard tires though, and will fight with Jack here. But oh, Arini, this is not good for the McLaren. I think there was a bit of contact made between the two drivers, but that's not going to be good for the McLaren reserve driver.
Yeah, Cube Tom passed Wakanda. He's not. He's inside of the 1 second gap that he needs to hold onto if he wants DRS. Elite will lose the lead in around 5 corners. I predict that. Or even now, Cube Tom closing on Jack. Micromash 7/10 behind Cube Tom. So right now, Jack is leading. Elite second, Cube Tom, Micromash, Diamonds, Wakanda, Dave, Tom and Dave, Savos and Masi rounds up the top 10.
But as we see here, Jack's just gonna able to fly away because of the battle between Cube Tom, Micromash, and Elite. So it was a bit of a gambit, but I do think not boxing was not the right call. I see why Elite didn't do it, but I don't know why Wakanda and Arini didn't do it. And I think Arini will be probably either having a pit stop or will be retiring. We're just gonna have to find out now here. It looks like they're just gonna do a tire swap and go on to some fresh tires. They're going to go on to mediums. And, yeah. They're probably going to have to box again because these mediums won't last 18 laps. So
32.6 is the fastest lap from Jack. As the field fighting for positions. We have 3 or 4 drivers who did not pit under the safety car. 1,
3.
2, only 2.
No, Arini as well didn't box in the safety car. Arini's just boxed.
Yeah, but he boxed now. So there are only 2 drivers out on track who have 8 laps old tires. I don't know. I'm. If I were there, I would just let them through, because I lose a lot of time because I did not pit under the safety car, and I lose a lot of time fighting with them. So yeah, if they want to have the best race that they can do from now, they should let the faster guys through. At least that's what I do from a driver's perspective.
Well, to be honest, I think if Elite can actually stay with these guys, then this race may play into his hands. Yes, he doesn't have he's lower on tire wear. He's got more tire wear than these guys, but he's in the DRS train.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that yeah, because you are on an older tire, let everybody pass. I say if there is faster, as we see Vakandai spun or something happened with him. Yeah, he spun. So for Elite, not to let past everybody, but let past drivers who are fast, like he did with Jack, or Cube Tom, or the top 5 who is ahead of him.
Yeah,
Easily
I think
just sticking with him and using the ERS to remain in the DRS train.
I think what we're going to see here is Elite is probably going to go to lap 12, then box for those hard compound tires and go for 15 laps on them. I think that is probably the best strategy for him. You know, he'll definitely be able to hold out for 2 laps, maybe even 3. He could try and see how long these mediums can go. He's in the DRS train that is leaded by Mash. And something that's just came under my radar is Tom. He was P13. Oh my god. He was P13 starting this race, and he's gone up 10 positions. Let me just quickly fact check that. Yep, no, he's gone up 7, so he started P10. And this is not going to be good for Elite, so Elite has, I think, 8 seconds worth of penalties. No, PS 13 seconds worth of penalties. So Elite's chances of being a race winner here is going to be very, very slim. He's got a hope for a safety car near this later stage of the race. But as we see, Jack has just absolutely stormed off and has a 3.6 second gap over to P2. Cube Tom now has a 3-second penalty for multiple for corner cutting warnings. This will put him just in front, no, just behind, just in front of Diamonds if this was to remain the final result. just so Rini has also made up a lot of ground on Wakanda. The gap was 42 seconds only 2 laps ago, and it's already dropped via 10 seconds. So, I think the boxing for those fresh tires is really good. Oh, but there is a caution in sector 3 involving Star Wars fans and Combi. I don't know what's happened there, but there is a big gap as Elite's now into the box. He's going to be coming off of these mediums, and yes, I think he is going to be going. No, he's retiring from the session. 30 seconds worth of penalties is something you don't want, and I would retire too. He could have still got points, but maybe something came up. As we watch away Micro Mash leading Diamonds. These guys are in a 2-man train of DRS. They should be working together to work with each other to get up with that Cube Tom and just normal Tom, that fight. They should be working together to work up to this fight, but I don't think they are. And Combi's having an absolute horrific, a terrific drive all the way back up to the position, and Arini gets himself a 3-second penalty, but is gaining on Wakanda. Gained 2 seconds on Jack, who is the leader, but they do have really fresh tyres, and Jack is extending that lead, I want to say 5 tenths a lap. Combi's up to P7, and oh! Star Wars Beast is out of the race.
No.
That is going to be a safety car, and this is going to be good for everyone, because you can box now, go to the end on hards, but this is going to be a massive advantage for, say, Dave and Combi, because they're going to be able to come into the pits before, where Jack is going to be under Delta. It's going to be under Delta, and I believe he's going to be under Delta anyway, so he's going to have to be slower down, and then Combi and Dave will have to pass the safety car, and also Massey. Wakanda also comes into bits. These guys will pass the safety car and catch up to the leaders, I think. Yep, safety car is letting everyone go through. So this is going to really play into maybe Jack's hands and Dave's hands, and Diamond's hands, because these guys will get a big jump. No, not Diamonds, but Dave. He leads the pack of people that's boxed, apart from Frog, and Arini. Let's actually go see what the tyres are like. Yes, a Diamond. So the top 5 are yet to box, but I think we will see that quite shortly. Let's go on board with Jack coming through Sector 3. Yes, he's on Delta. So this is going to play really into Dave's hands. He's boxed, and he's also gaining on those who have Delta. He has Delta himself, but he's on fresh tyres and doesn't need to worry about boxing. So I think we will see he's going to maybe come out ahead of Micro Mash. That's going to be my prediction. He's coming out ahead of that Haas driver. As yes, we see Jack comes into the box. So does the Aston Martin driver. And so, oh, we see a Sebastian Vettel kind of move, but it just doesn't work out for the Scuderia Ferrari. And he will get a 5-second penalty for severe collision with Cube Tom. Now let's just watch. Yeah, no, I don't think, maybe they won't come out. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe they will, or maybe they won't. Will Tom be able to serve his penalty rather immediately? Jack's gone onto the softs. Why has he gone softs?
I don't know. If Jack won this race with the fastest lap, he needs to score 3 more points in the next 2 races to be crowned a 3-time champion.
I don't know what's happening here, ladies and gentlemen, but everyone's on the soft compound tyre.
Except Dave.
Apart from Dave. Dave is able to stay out for the whole race. Whereas everyone else will have to end up boxing yet again. So I don't know what the strategy here is, but...
Or they don't want to use the hearts anymore. Or they just don't want to use the hearts.
Well, Jack needed to swap his compound.
Yeah.
But the hards can go long, and the hards are quite good. But, I don't know what the strategy is. Why is everyone on the soft compound tyre? They only really last for, I want to say about 7 laps, which would take them to lap 21. Where these mediums will last till the remainder of the race. They will be dead, but they will last till the remainder of the race. So I don't know what we're gonna see here, but it's something I would definitely not do. I would probably have gone hard if I used my mediums. But yeah, that is just not really good. I don't know what the strategy is. Jack is slowing down. For no, Tom has just gone into the pits. He's going to be serving this pit penalty. This is actually going to be kind of good for him. Yes, he will come out, I think, ahead of Frog. No, he'll come out ahead of, I believe, he'll come out P10. But if we actually go watch Tom... What is this? He's gone intermediate, so... He's gone really early for these inters. Rain hasn't even started pouring, and we haven't even had Rain's incoming notification come up yet. So I don't know what's actually happening here.
He might just press one tick right.
Rain is starting to pour here in France. Tom may be on for a good strategy. This lap will roughly be 2 minutes long, which gives...
Yeah, it's raining.
It's raining.
Wow. 14 no. 12 laps remaining, and the rain comes just to really puts on the intermediates. The first 2 laps will be very hard for the intermediate runners, but...
Was it too early though? Was it too early to box? Will we see anyone else boxing here?
Not really, the track is getting wet and wettier.
The track is getting wet, guys, and I don't know if you can see this on the stream, but it is actually in fact raining. It's raining in France. Who would have thought? Totally not one of the wettest countries ever, but still. This is not going to be good for those that box under... Well, not everyone boxes in the safety car, so it doesn't really matter.
And I don't know what will happen. Safety car in this lap or stays out another lap if it comes...
Well, we've entered sector 3, and I think the safety car's lights are still flashing. Let's go to the front. Yeah, safety car is remaining in for one more lap, so this is going to give everyone the opportunity to box, and this will give Tom also the provisional P1 if everyone does box. We'll see. Does Jack box?
Yeah,
is Jack gonna box? Yes, he is. He's boxing. This is gonna play right into Tom's hands and Arini's hands. They're both gonna be able to get up this position, and especially with the teams double stacking, such as just Alfa Romeo and Aston Martin. They're both double stacking, meaning
Dave's staying out.
Actually, no, they're not. Dave opts to stay out. He's gonna stay out, lead the way. Massey's also staying out, so they're not gonna be double stacking.
Everybody.
Tom is provisional P1, and I think Arini will come out. Don't know what Arini is doing, but Arini is rather slow. And will be here, but just wasn't fast enough to be on the rear end, or maybe up a few positions. But
yeah, I think that's that he catched up. It's just enough for him.
I think
he had like 40-second gap.
Yeah,
behind, so it's good for him. The first and second driver, Dave and Marcy, are in big trouble because safety car will be in this lap, and they are on dry tires and the track is wet.
The track is getting wet. Let's hope safety car is not in this lap. The field is all bunched up. Will this be bad for Dave and Massey? Or will this actually play wonders? I don't think it'll play wonders as we come into sector 3 now. Safety cars in this lap, and this is going to be bad for Dave and Massey. They're definitely going to be P10 and P11. They're going to have to box. It's a wet track, and this is going to give Tom the easiest start of his life.
He just
As
needs to make sure that
maybe
he
Dave
fun.
and Massey will play the team game and try and stay out, slow down the drivers behind, and help their teammates get up a few positions.
No, Tom and Jack are too fast for those guys. They were just going to go past them. Like, let me just not say anything through the community guidelines. But yeah, they will be 10th and 11th.
But,
Or they just won't quit and lose more time. Dave restarted it, and
he's going to go straight into the pits, and he's exceeded track
Massey
limits. And he's cutting.
not.
Massey's opting to stay out. Now, Tom can't overtake. No one can overtake until Massey has crossed the line. So now they can overtake, but I think Massey's going to stay out and hold up for his teammate to make up some positions. This could play wonders for the driver. He gets a bit sent wide via the Scuderia Ferrari, but he is going to be a brick wall for Cube Tom. But no, Cube Tom finds a way and will go ahead in this. This Alfa Romeo is just raced over. Oh, they've already got a penalty. And now, kind of pushes Micromash off the track and will give back the position. And this driver is just completely out of the race, I would say.
Yeah,
and
the
Dave...
racing incidents between Diamonds, Mash and Massey.
Yeah. But
Diamonds
is up to P4, Combi's up to P5, Tom's leading. He's got a 2/10 lead, and then it's 8/10. Oh! Micromash has spun! What's happened to the Haas driver? He got sent wide going into turn 4. Exit of turn 4, and now exiting the chicane, he's down to P10, and that's just not going to be good for the driver. Let's go on board with Tom. Jack, the Red Bull driver. Get everything off the HUD so we can fully be immersed with this driver. He's just behind. And then it's a 7/10 gap between Jack and Cube Tom. So a 6/10 gap, and it's decreasing. So Tom in the Scuderia Ferrari is maybe being able to
hold on the lead.
Hold on the lead, but there is a 1.2 second gap between P2 and P3. So that's not going to be good, and this could be a battle only between two cars for that P1 spot. A lot of people weren't excited for the rain near the end of this race, but a lot of people are mudded in this race, as we see Massey is boxing. A fight for P4 between Combi and Diamonds. I think Combi, if he didn't have that spin on lap 1 going down to P14, I think he could have been in a chance to maybe win this race. As Tom is being overtaken, but he's going to fight back. He's going to go onto the outside. He'll have the inside line, but he won't have the exit speed. They're going to go side by side. Micromash gets a 3-second penalty, and I think it will be Jack who will take the lead here. No, they're still side by side, and Tom will have the inside line coming through the flat out corner. Oh my God, this is what we love. This is proper racing. They're going to go side by side coming through the first bit in Sector 3. And this is just something that we love. Tom's going to have the outside line, but he will get more speed from the exit of the corner. Will he have the line? Will he just slot back in? No, they're remaining side by side. Look at this. This is what we call racing, and this is what we all love to watch. He'll have the inside line for the final corner. Will he lunge it in? Yes, he will. Space will be left, but he won't have the speed, and I think Jack will be like, that was a clean battle, mate, but I will take this P1 for now. But no, they're remaining side by side. Who would have thought? Will Tom go for a late lunge going into turn 1? No, he would just remain behind. Micromash now retires from the session from getting multiple penalties here in the race. Everyone will be getting points apart from Massey. No, everyone will be getting points now because of that, that DNF. So everyone is guaranteed points, which could be good for some people. But Jack, he leads the way. He's got 6/10. I think there are still three safety cars or virtual safety cars still up for grabs. Micromash left the session. That doesn't matter anymore. There's a battle for P1. Let's go down for 2 P6, where Wakanda will take Crossfrog and will go up to P6 here in France. The battle for P1 is still alive, and Cube Tom is just on the outskirts of it, and we'll probably be hoping for these guys to continue battling so he can get back in and challenge for that P1 spot. 5/10 between P1 and P2. That gap is growing, and then there's a 3-second gap between P3 and P4. Combi's gone up to P4. He's overtaken Diamonds on lap 18, and that did get him nicely up to that P4 spot, which I think he'll be nicely happy with, as he started the race in P4 and he went down to P14 right at the start of the race, and now he's back up to P4 where he started this nice race.
Yeah, he just needs to find 2.2 seconds and he will be P3, because Cube Tom has a 3-second time penalty, or even more. Let me just check that. Yeah, it's a 3-second for track limits, so 2.3 seconds now.
That gap between P3 and P4 is going down. Wakanda gets a 3-second time penalty, which will give Crossfrog P6 as of now. And Decombi is looking to get that P3. He's shortening this gap. 2.4, and it's dropping, and this gap for P1 is staying within a second, so the slipstream is still there. But was there a mistake there by the Scuderia Ferrari as he dropped 2 temps in the chicane? He's out of slipstream range roughly, and will Jack just be able to fly away? We saw this in Wicked Wednesday yesterday. He was able to just literally fly away in that sprint race. So will that be a repeat in this Division 1 race? As it's kind of calmed down now. There's seconds between each driver, roughly the same gap everywhere. A few drivers have got penalties. The last person that's got a quite equal gap is just Arini, having quite a spectacular race. After everything was thrown at them, they had a really good start, getting all the way up to P5, then dropping down to P14, and now back up to P8. This is just absolutely spectacular. Some pit boards are being shown to some drivers. I don't know what they said, but maybe some strategies are coming into play. 6 laps left to remain. 6 laps left of remaining, and there's a battle for P9 between Massey and Dave, and Dave will just stay behind, but will he continue? They're going to go side by side. If Dave has more speed round, he's just going to go ahead before the corner. I thought he was going to go round the outside, but they make contact in turn 1, and I think that was more on Massey, but could have been for Dave, maybe early braking, but Massey is not going to be a happy bunny about that. Let's go back up. Arini, is gone up to P7, ahead of Crossfrog. And Arini really needs to get that gap extended so they can keep that P7 in this race.
Yeah, Tom struggling in P2. He's 2.6 seconds behind Jack. The inters just don't work on the Ferrari.
But yeah,
as Cube Tom spun.
Cube Tom has spun, and that's not going to be good for the Aston driver. That's going to promote Combi and Diamonds up, and he's going to get another 3-second time penalty, but that surely should be removed because he did spin and he was off track. But he boxes and he's going to retire. No!
Yeah.
That's not going to be good, but that does promote everyone up to a spot. That will give P7 surely to Arini. This is such a good drive. I don't know if it's their debut in Division 1, but here...
Or just Arini Qatar was the debut. He finished P2. It's his second race, but he's
Second
performing
race,
very well.
both races are getting points. This sounds like a future championship contender in Division 1.
Yeah, Division 2. He right now he doesn't lead the championship, but yeah, he's a competitor, a very strong competitor.
The only fights we are having are between P6 and P7 and P8 and P9. These are the only two on-track battles that we are having. Mainly, it's just trying to get those gaps going. But as we go back here, the battle for P9 is for P8 is still alive. Massey is still looking for a move on Dave, but Dave is an absolute brick wall as of now, and just absolutely not letting Massey by. But as we come onto the back straight, Massey has the overspeed, but no, actually Dave has more speed, but the slipstream is real in this game. And will stay really close within 2/10. Will he go for a dive? No, he won't. He'll keep it nice and clean. But will he go for a switchback move? Maybe. He gets on the power nice and early. Will he be looking for a move here? Within 2/10, I think he missed. He was too early on an upshift, which caused him speed. But let's go back on board through the flat chicane, which is actually a lift or a slight break when it's raining like this. And he'll go for a move. What a move it is. Down the inside, right on the apex, and you love to see it. Crossfrog looks like they are struggling in this wet weather. Struggling to keep up with Arini in this wet weather conditions. And if this keeps happening, maybe Arini will remain P6 and get those points.
4 laps remaining, and he's only gaining around the 10th lap. So yeah, Crossfrog needs to be faster, and he could get P. Oh, no, he couldn't get. He can't get P5 now. The gap to Vakandai is 7 seconds.
Yeah.
So you need 4 seconds in 4 laps, and he's not faster by a second.
Man's losing about. He lost about 2/10 this lap to Arini, and Arini looks like they're not fast enough to catch the leaders, of course. But it looks like they're actually losing a lot of time to Wakanda as well, which is just not that good.
Yeah,
but
last time out, a disastrous race for Vakandai. Underfueled a lot in Qatar, and he just ran out on fuel.
Qatar is a fuel burner. It does actually take up a lot of fuel. You normally want to go 0.5 or 0.7 over the recommended laps. So if it's a 25 lap race, you want to go 20...
Crossfrog!
Huh?
Crossfrog nearly dropped it. He saved it, but he lost.
They're out of the 3-second range, and Arini's probably raising their hands in absolute enjoyment as right now, as it stands, they will stay P6. Let's just double check that. Yep, they will stay P6, and that's just going to be absolutely wondrous for the Division 2 driver. Here
Cross is Div 2 too, so Crossfrog will shake his head about this.
He will not, in fact, be a happy bunny about this.
Yeah.
As right now, it will stand. If this stays like how it is,
Jack
then
will need 3 points to win the championship.
Yeah. Right now, I believe he does also have that fastest lap.
Yeah, he has, and nobody will get it away from him.
And it's not going to be able to be taken. That means he will have 4 poles. More than... I don't know because the standings haven't been updated for round 5.
He wasn't there in Qatar.
Well, in Qatar... Okay, but this would give him 4 P1s, 4 fastest laps, and 4 poles as his standing. As of his stats for this season, and he also will go into the hundreds of points for his team. So if that's not domination, then I don't know what it is. But as we saw, Jamie's not here. Wakanda will be getting P5, which will be a good result. And will really close that gap between him, Chocolate, and Remote. For those for that P2 in the standings, because he will get roughly 10 points, which will put him on 40 points. Will only put him 16 behind It's Chocolate. But that's really it. Most of the people here are going to be reserve drivers, and Arini is having a spectacular drive and extended that gap between Crossfrog and themselves by 4 seconds from that spin. So I think Crossfrog is actually really struggling in this wet weather condition here
Jack,
in
3 second.
the Ricard.
Jack has a 3-second penalty. He's 6 seconds ahead, but yeah, he
This could
should
be absolutely bad, because he needs to be really careful. He just needs to not fully push. He just needs to keep it nice, calm, and collective. And keep this gap above 4 seconds, and he'll be fine. But he's doing that, and he's actually gaining. He's extending that gap on Tom behind.
Yeah, Cross and Massey has. So Cross has 30% of tire wear, while Massey has only 24. But we know that Massey pitted later in the race.
Yeah, as it looks like it's just going to be staying like this for the remainder of the race. Everyone just needs to stay calm and composed. Everyone is guaranteed points. Everyone is guaranteed at least 2 points. So there should be no DNFs. I don't know why Cube Tom actually DNF'd, because he could have still got points. But it is what it is. Because he's DNF'd, he will not receive those points. Even though it says he's P10, he won't receive the points. Or I don't know if that's the rule for this league, but that's what most people do.
You needed to complete 22 laps.
Okay, well, I think...
22, 20. Let me just see that. And Tom has a 3-second. He needs to be careful.
He needs to be very careful, because Combi is only 4.4 behind, and he's going to be pushing now. He's going to try and get within 3 seconds of Tom to, you know, get that position for P2, and it's actually working. He's gaining on Tom. Tom's going to be careful. He's losing time to Jack and to Combi. So he's being a bit maybe too careful. Now, if you could give someone the driver of the day, who would you give your driver of the day to?
Actually, nobody. Nobody showed the real performance. Jack just gone away. He does that on the sprint.
I
Tom,
think if I was to...
maybe.
Yeah, maybe
Because
Tom.
he fell back from the back of the grid.
But I think you forget about the Combi. They were P4 at the start of the race. Lap 1, they spin, they go down to P14. Then they come miraculously back up the field, lap after lap. And as we are on the final lap now, final lap of the race, and the Combi has started to slow down ever so slightly and lost about a second that lap to Tom. But the Combi, I think, will be the drive of the day for me, as they've had an amazing drive back from spinning at the start of the race. Well, I believe they spun. Let's actually look in the race director real quick.
Half lap remains for Jack to be only 3 points away from winning the championship. Winning the final F1 23 championship in Fortune Racing, and he dominated every single season. Season 4. I know we are in season 4, but we had one race first season, so it was a bit of chaotic. But he won season 2, season 3, and he will win season 4 if he shows up at least once in the next 2 races, or Chocolate does not win both races.
Now, coming around the final few corners, to come home for his 4th win here in Division 1 of Fortune Racing. Round the final corner, he will come home to win in France. Jack is a 4-time winner in Season 4, Division 1, Round 6 of Fortune Racing.
Yeah, Tom comes home after a really good race. Comes home P2 combi with the Alpine P3.
Will come home with a spectacular drive back in P3. And Diamond will come home in P4 after having a not so good sprint race to come home in P4. Then Wakanda in P5 and Just Arini having a spectacular race. All the odds are thrown at them and they come home in P6. They had a spin. They went down to P13. They had to, they messed up in their pit strategy and they still come home in P6. And then Massey, having an absolutely atrocious strategy, will come home into P8 because of the penalty. And Crossfrog will be P7. And Dave Nay will come home in P9. And everyone is guaranteed points from the DNFs. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, round 6 of Season 4 of Division 1 here in
yeah, and we will have
France.
Jack joining us
for those
interviews. Only he, because Leo and Tom said they can't do it. GG's to everybody who completed the race, and yeah, next time out for the drivers who DNF'd.
Jack, you did
Hello.
an absolutely tremendous race. I want to say that's a grand slam. You got pole, you got the sprint race win, and now you win here. How are you feeling, mate?
I didn't lead every lap, so not quite a grand slam, but it was good.
Close enough.
Felt quite comfortable when it started raining. I felt quite comfortable in the dry, to be fair, as well. Tom was very quick in the dry, as you can see, obviously, by his fastest lap. But it's a shame he started so far back, because I feel like it could have been a good battle in the dry.
Yeah, it would have been an outstanding battle. It would have had me even more on the edge of my seat. He's only 600th slower than you on lap, so he almost took your pole position. But who do you think were your maybe top 2 or top 3 rivals coming into this race?
I'm not sure. I didn't really know the pace of Diamonds. I didn't know the pace of Tom. The new Tom, I mean. I guess it was one of them in the end, although they both qualified quite badly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know who. Cube Tom was fighting me for a little while, but
yeah, that was an issue with Cube Tom. He got so many penalties. He spun, and then he went into the pits to retire because of it. Which was unfortunate because you guys were having a really nice battle for that P2 for that P1 spot. But
yeah, Jack, you are only 3 points away, if my calculations are right, from winning the championship.
already.
Yeah.
Right.
Even though you missed 2 or 3 races.
Yeah.
It's just absolute dominance. But it's good to see fights. Good to see fights between the front pack. And
that was a very fun fight. I have to admit, that was extremely. It was like side by side for 2.5 sectors. It felt like.
yeah, you were side by side since the start of the chicane, and you remained side by side, and it was absolutely spectacular to watch. Who do you think was during that race? Who do you think was probably your toughest opponent throughout the whole race?
Leo, it had to be. He's the only one that was able to actually hold on. Yeah, he was definitely the trickiest customer. He got it perfectly as well, pitting onto those inters. That was perfect timing for him.
Yeah, it was really good timing.
So we're heading to Australia next time out. Ooh. You are in a Red Bull, leading the championship. Maybe it's just a coincidence between you and Max Verstappen.
I don't like that track, so that's a plus for anybody else. I'm not very good at Australia. I say that, and I don't know what happened, but yeah, great comeback from Leo. Great comeback from everyone else. And I hope Australia goes well as well.
Yeah.
And I hope that Tom as well. Great comeback from Tom. That's what I meant to say. Hope that he's racing as well, because he'll definitely be up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Congratulations again on the race win, and we hope to see you and talk to you again in the commentator's voice.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions, Luxy?
No, that's
Or-
all my questions.
Okay. Well, congrats again, and have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, was round 6 here in the Circuit des Paul Ricard. In the nice, not so sunny France, it ended up to be a spectacular race. We had 4 DNFs. I wasn't expecting it. There was stuff left on track. There was great battles, and it was just amazing to watch. And I hope you guys in the stream all enjoyed it. Now, I can't wait to see you all next time out
In Melbourne.
in Melbourne.
So that's it. See you guys.
See you guys, and I hope you all have a great evening.